Now, friends, I've said it before and I'll say it again. You can have everything in life you want if you'll just help enough other people get what they want. But let me tell you something else. The size of your television isn't nearly as important as the size of your vision. See, we live in a world where folks are hypnotized by distraction and starved for wisdom. They've got wall-sized TV but bookshelf-sized dreams. Today, I want to challenge you to flip that script. Because a rich life has nothing to do with flashy things. It's built on big ideas, bold habits, and a hunger to grow. You don't build wealth by entertaining yourself. You build it by educating yourself. So let's talk about what it really means to live a rich life, and why a small TV and a big library might just be the secret to it all. You can't feed a millionaire mindset with junk food for the brain. The truth is, what you allow into your mind shapes everything about how you live, how you lead, and how you earn. If you're constantly consuming noise, celebrity gossip, endless scrolling, binge-watching shows that entertain but never empower, you're robbing yourself of the very nutrition your mind needs to grow rich. I'm not talking just about financial wealth. I'm talking about a richness in your thinking, in your relationships, in your ability to solve problems and create value in the world. The world is overflowing with empty content that keeps people mentally passive. It numbs them. It dulls their ambition. It keeps them dependent on external stimulation instead of internal motivation. But you can't live a life of purpose on a diet of mental junk food. That's like trying to run a race on potato chips. You need fuel that fires your imagination, feeds your faith, and stretches your thinking. Now let me tell you something. Every wealthy, wise, and fulfilled person I've met has been intentional about what they consume. Mentally, they guard their minds like a vault. They read, they listen, they learn. They feed their minds the same way an athlete fuels their body, strategically and consistently, because they know that the mind is a garden, and whatever you plant, you will harvest. If you plant garbage, you get weeds, but if you plant wisdom, you grow greatness. That's why a big library is more powerful than a big TV. The TV shows you the world someone else created. A book helps you build your own, and the more you read, the more you lead. Leaders are readers, and success leaves clues in every page of a good book. When you read, you gain access to the minds of giants. You learn how they think, how they solve problems, how they bounce back from failure. That knowledge rewires your thinking, it expands your beliefs, and it raises your standards. And don't be fooled. This isn't about reading for pleasure alone. It's about reading with a purpose, reading to equip your spirit, reading to fuel your next breakthrough, reading because your future depends on the thoughts you entertain today. The quality of your input will always determine the quality of your output. So if you want to think bigger, live fuller, and earn smarter, start by feeding your mind the good stuff. A big library builds wealth far beyond money. It builds character, vision, and lifelong opportunity. See, real wealth isn't just measured by what's in your bank account. It's measured by what's inside of you. And every time you pick up a book, you're not just flipping pages. You're flipping mindsets. You're feeding your future. You're investing in the one asset that always appreciates you. Now let me ask you something. What good is a big paycheck if your perspective is small? What good is having things if you don't have the wisdom to handle them? That's why so many people who come into quick success lose it just as fast. They never develop the foundation of character and understanding that sustains it. But when you build that foundation through consistent learning, through exposing yourself to new ideas, timeless truths, and proven principles, you don't just make money, you multiply your capacity for every kind of abundance. A big library is a daily reminder that you are still growing, still becoming, still stretching toward your purpose. It doesn't just hold books, it holds keys, keys to stronger relationships, keys to sharper thinking, keys to resilience, courage, and creativity. Books are mentors you can meet with anytime without an appointment. They carry the thoughts of people who have already walked the path you're on, and they freely give you the wisdom they gained, if you're willing to listen. You see, television entertains the masses, but libraries raise leaders. You want to lead your life, not just survive it. Start reading more than you scroll. Start collecting ideas, not distractions. You don't need more noise. You need more knowledge, because knowledge transforms the way you see the world, and when you change your vision, you change your decisions. The person who commits to a lifestyle of learning becomes unstoppable, because when you fill your mind with wisdom, your heart with discipline, and your soul with truth, life will begin to open doors you didn't even know existed. A new idea can spark a new habit can spark a new direction, and a new direction can lead to a destiny that looks nothing like the struggle you started in. Books build more than intellect, they build identity. They teach you not just what to do, but who you can become, and once you see yourself differently, you live differently. So when I say a big library builds wealth, I mean it builds a wealth of you, the kind of wealth no recession can touch, the kind of wealth that blesses not only your life, but the lives of everyone around you. Because when you grow, everyone connected to you grows. That's the power of personal development. That's the legacy of a reader, and that's the beginning of a truly rich life. Now, friends, let me wrap this up with a simple truth. The rich life isn't about what's parked in your driveway, it's about what's planted in your mind. You can have the biggest house on the block, the fanciest gadgets, the latest everything. But if your thinking stays small, your life will too. A small TV and a big library may not look impressive on the outside, but they build something far more powerful on the inside. They build you, because the richest people aren't just the ones with money. They are the ones with vision, with discipline, with the wisdom to make the most of what they've been given. That kind of wealth doesn't fade. It doesn't get stolen. It grows deeper with time, and it starts with a daily decision to choose growth over comfort, learning over entertainment, wisdom over noise. So don't measure your life by what you can show on social media. Measure it by what you're storing in your soul. Ask yourself, am I feeding my mind what it needs to dream bigger? Am I building a future I'll be proud of? Or am I just passing time while the days slip away? You weren't put on this earth to just exist. You were made to create, to contribute, to grow into something extraordinary, but that won't happen by accident. It happens when you choose to fill your environment with the right voices, the right books, the right examples. It happens when you shut off the noise and tune into the lessons that have built empires, healed hearts, and changed lives. So yes, go ahead and downsize that screen if you have to. Clear off a shelf. Start small if you need to, but start. Build your library, build your mind, build your life. Because every chapter you read is a step toward the future you deserve. You can have a rich life. Not someday, but starting today if you'll trade a little entertainment for a lot of enlightenment. The choice is yours. The tools are right in front of you, and the future is waiting for the version of you who decides to grow into greatness. So go on live richly, read deeply, and never stop learning, because your richest days are still ahead.